y'all. Good morning. It's 7. It's currently almost like 6 o'clock in the morning, and I'm up recording because I don't know, it's something about like the real early hours in the morning where I just feel so energized, and then in the next 3 hours, I just crash. Okay. Today is Wednesday, the middle of the week. I know everybody who's working and stuff is like, yeah, wait until Friday. I currently stay at home with my 1 year old. I work from home, so, you know. But anyway, today we're going to be talking about relationships. It's going to be piggybacking off of my last video from a few days ago, but it's going to be a little more in depth. And I will be speaking about the late Trouble. Rest in peace to him. I want to touch on the situation behind his passing because I've been seeing some stuff in the media about like the young lady and the guy and him, and I just want to put my input on the situation. So let's get into it. Okay, so speaking about the rapper Trouble, we're gonna speak on that situation first. Um, he was shot and killed, I want to say maybe like almost a week ago. He was at a young lady's house. From the report I read, the police report I read that was on social media, he was at a young lady's house, sleep in the bed, and the young lady's ex-boyfriend came to the house, kicked in the door. They had a tussle. He ended up shooting Trouble and left the scene. And I just been seeing a lot of people on social media pointing the finger at the young lady like, well, she shouldn't have had nobody at her house if she knew the man was crazy and they only broke up a week ago and he had been living there. And, it's just a lot of finger pointing at the person who didn't pull the trigger. And it's kind of irritating to me. I'd be like, oh my gosh, like, how is it her fault that somebody else is crazy? I get the maybe like I get where people were trying to go with it, but it's like nah, because I know like when you break up with somebody, right, and those wounds be fresh, like after a week it's still gonna be fresh if you truly love somebody. However, you can't just go around kicking in people's doors, busting in their bedroom, tussling with people because you hurt. That's not how life works. And if we continue to blame everybody else except the person who's doing it, then what are we really doing as a society? You know what I'm saying? I don't care if you broke up with somebody 30 minutes ago and they gone and you bring another person in your house. That's your choice. You know what I'm saying? She can do what she wants. She broke up with the guy and she was doing what she wanted to do in her own home. But the report said it was her house. The report said he had been living there. They never said that he was on a lease or anything. It was her house. She allowed him to live there. In the report, it also stated that he wasn't working. He wasn't helping with any bills. And apparently, the young lady grew tired of that situation and asked him to leave. He had been gone. Apparently, she said she hadn't heard from him since the incident that took place between them a week prior. And she thought it was over. I'm guessing, and she was doing what she was right for, what she could, like what she wanted to do, and she could do what she want in her house. It's not her fault at all that, unfortunately, Trouble had to lose his life, unfortunately, but it's not her fault. It's the man's fault that pulled the trigger. He couldn't control his emotions, I guess, and ultimately it ended up in someone losing their life, very unfortunately. But we can't just go around like, people just need to stop going around saying what she should have did or could have did. And why are we not talking about what the man should have did? He should have stayed his crazy behind where he was at, left that woman alone, and moved on, because nobody is worth your freedom, your livelihood. Nobody is worth that. And I'm gonna put myself in those shoes. Like, I've been in love before. I thought some crazy stuff at points, but ultimately, nobody is worth you losing your life. And when I say losing his life, like, he's facing prison time, major prison time. And from the research I did, he got kids. And those kids potentially are going to grow up without a father for nothing. For nothing. It was not worth it. Nobody in that situation was wrong except the person who pulled the trigger. And that's just my opinion. Like, I don't care how you flip it, how you scramble it up. That woman could do what she wanted to do. It's not like it was his, excuse me. It's not like it was his house and he was at work and she had a man in his bed and he came home to some craziness and it wasn't that type of situation. This man broke into this woman's house. Okay, you was living there before when we were together, but I asked you to leave my premises. You had not been here and you bust up, so it's just, the whole situation is just sad. And my condolences go out to Trouble's family. I'm really, really sympathetic, to his kids. I think he had 2 children. And it's just a sad, sad situation all around the board. And I just wanted to touch on that situation because we are talking about relationships and love. And unfortunately, sometimes love will get you in some things that you didn't sign up for. And that's when you can't act off of emotion. You have to act off logic. And I think a lot of times when you hear these horror stories, like if you watched Snapped, or if you watch Fatal Attraction or For My Man, those type of shows, like, people, I think, are not moving off of logic. They're moving off of emotion. And if you walk around moving off of emotion, that's a dangerous, dangerous, dangerous thing to do. It just all got to do better, when it comes to our actions and accountability. We got to move smarter. That being said, moving smarter, talking to the ladies specifically on this part. Ladies, we have got to start moving smarter when it comes to love, when it comes to dating, when it comes, a lot of times we are the reason why we get hurt because we try to see the potential in someone instead of seeing who they are. Stop trying to build somebody, okay? You cannot build anyone. This person that stands in front of you, that's who they are. Stop saying, well, he might not have a job, or he might be a little verbally abusive, but he's real sweet. Yeah, he's sweet to you when it's payday, right? And I'm a victim of that. I've been a victim of that in the past. Like, you see all the red flags. It's just hitting you in the face, and you just snatching them down. Like, nah, I'm gonna keep going. And then when the big ass red just slap you and knock you down in the face, and you're like, oh shit. And now it's like, well, you can't blame anyone but yourself. Because you seen all the red flags, but you tore them down. You kept going because you were determined to see the potential in someone. And I'm not saying that you're a horrible person. We're not horrible people for that. It's just that you're a person that's naturally empathetic, when you're a person that naturally just exudes love, that wants everybody. You want everybody to be good. You just try to make excuses for people and and it's just not, it's not where it's at. We gotta take people for who they are. start taking accountability for the hurt. I'm not saying that that person was right for hitting you. I'm not saying that person was right for cheating on you. However, we have to hold ourselves accountable to, especially if you are a repeat offender, to keep stepping in the lion's den, knowing the potential dangers, and you decide to keep going, then it's like, okay, it's nobody's fault but yours. If you see the red flags. Now, in other instances, where someone pretends to be something that they're not, and you didn't see the red flags, that's a different story. However, 9 times out of 10, people produce some type of red flag. However, we just write it off. A lot of us just write it off like, no, I don't think. Maybe he was just having a bad day. Maybe, nah. One thing I've learned in these 31 years of living is that intuition does not lie. Your intuition would never lie. Your intuition gonna come to you before your brain do, before your heart do. Your intuition, I'm telling you, it can get you very far ahead in life if you just listen to that inner self. Listen to your inner self. Don't let your heart speak for you. Listen to your inner self. And I've learned that. I've slowly learned that, okay? But I'm just trying to help y'all out. Now that I've spoken to the ladies, now men, this is specifically for you guys, okay? Stop telling a woman what she want to hear, okay? Stop telling women what they want to hear and tell them the truth. You don't want to be in a committed relationship with a woman and you telling her all these lies like, yeah, I want to be with you, I love you, the whole little 9-yard bull crap that y'all be. Just stop. Like, why even waste your time and waste her time? Because 9 times out of 10, you only doing that because you want to get something out of it, if you know what I mean. And it's a lot of grown women out here that are willing to be on that type of time with you, if only you were honest from the beginning. And then, when a woman flips and starts to turn up on you, then it's like, oh, is she crazy? And it's like, can you really call her crazy? Because you did play with this woman. Although I don't condone nobody getting violent and putting their hands on you because they upset about you lying, but you have to stop lying to people, man. Stop leading women on. Like, just be honest with yourself. Be honest with that person. Like, it's so much easier than having to keep up with so many different lies, and it's just too much. Like, I feel like it's not disturbing your peace. Like, I couldn't. That would just be too much for me. Being too much, and just be honest. I don't care if it hurts feelings. Like, I'm not saying you just gotta go around just being evil, quote unquote. But there's a way to come correct to somebody and be honest in the same light. I don't, even if it might hurt their feelings, I'd rather somebody hurt my feelings than to play with my feelings. You get what I'm saying? Like, hurt my feelings, like, by being honest, not by lying. Because once you lie to me, trust is hard for me to give out. It's very hard for me to give out. So once somebody lie to me, especially if I told you up front, what I expect, and you lie to me, then it's real hard for me to ever trust you again. Because I'm going to just think everything's a lie. Because I'm like, you lied before and was covering up. So how can I believe that this is not a lie? And then that's going to make me not even want to deal with you anymore. So let's just be honest. Okay? And speaking of being honest, I'm going to touch on monogamy right quick. And I want to be honest about monogamy and how I used to view it. And now that I've, matured and had experience, I know what the true meaning of monogamy is. And a lot of people get monogamy confused with control. And when I say control, people feel like being monogamous is being controlled, and that's not what that is. For me, monogamy is um, two people coming together and saying, hey, I only want you. We in this together. I'm with you through the long haul. I got your back through whatever. You my everything. You know. And in order to be monogamous, for me, there has to be trust, number one, because how can you be monogamous with someone you don't trust? So that's a big one. For me, it's like trust, honesty, loyalty, integrity. Like, you could be cool and loving in my face, but what do you do behind my back? What you do behind my back counts more than who you are in front of my face. Do you have integrity? Respect? Are you respecting me? Do you respect this relationship? All those things play a part in being monogamous, and I feel like a lot of people want that responsibility because a lot of people feel like it's just too much, and that's okay if you feel like that, but don't go lying to the next person. That's when the issue comes in. Don't act like that's what you want to do or can do, knowing damn well that ain't what your intent is. Your intent was never to be monogamous from the beginning. So just be honest. And you don't have to go through all the damn BS. From my experience in dating and couple I've had, I want to say like 2 serious relationships. And I've obviously dated people. I've had friends. I honestly can say, out of all the guys I ever been around, whether it was a friend, acquaintance, whatever, like, I have not seen one that was totally monogamous. I'm not saying they're not out there, but I've never met one that was just totally straight about his girl. Never. And yeah, so it's like finding a needle in a haystack. I'm not saying that those type of men are not out there, because obviously I haven't met every man in the world, but out of 31 years of living, I have not met one man that's monogamous. I honestly was very big on monogamy. Like, no, you, my man, you, not saying I want to control you, but I think for women, it's more like, how could you make her feel how you make me feel? Why would you want to make another woman feel special? I thought I was the special one. Like, why are you giving the gold to the next female? Like, why does she matter? Then when that does happen, it makes you question, like, okay, so if that was that easy for her to get, then what the hell am I doing? Like, we've been in this for this long, and all it took was her to post a picture, and, so it just it's just a whole bunch of BS that comes with it. And don't get it wrong, like, if I get in a relationship at some point down the line, I still believe in monogamy. I'm just not the type of person that want to be dating around, and like, if I'm serious, I'm serious, and if I'm single, I'm single. There's really like no in between. Like, I don't like that, because it brings just too much. It just brings too much drama for me. I just feel like it's a dangerous game, and I'm not knocking anybody who is okay with having an open relationship or whatever. That's, if it works for you, do you. However, it won't work for me. I'm good. No thanks. Like I stated earlier in my video, like, if you look at the shows like Fatal Attraction and For My Man, a lot of times it'd be like love triangles, and it just really, most of the time, it just never ends too good, because somebody gonna get jealous. Oh, she getting too much. Oh, you paying this person. Oh, you. It's just too much drama that comes with it. Like, okay, you have fun for the night, and then what about the feelings part? People start to catch feelings. So I would rather just stick with my one, and if I can't have my one, then I'll just be single. Speaking of being single, and I'm gonna touch on this right quick before I go, I feel like people get dating and serious relationships confused. When you're single, you're supposed, if you want to find somebody or just whatever, if you want to be around people, you're supposed to date multiple people. I'm not saying dating equates to sleeping with those people. You're supposed to go out and get to know people, have conversations, hang out. Like, you don't date and just say, okay, I'm gonna just date this one person, unless y'all come together and say, okay, I like you more, I like you, I want to be exclusive, whatever. However, I think that's the issue too. Like, a lot of us just, especially women, like, we go on the date with a guy and we're like, oh yeah, I want him, like, he the one. Like, girl, chill out, go on a few more dates. Okay, it was just one date. So I just feel like I'm saying, when you single, enjoy being single, okay? Like, don't force yourself into something because of what society's saying. Because, you know, a lot of times they try to make women feel bad if they're single. Like, I always hear a lot of times as like a negative to women, like, oh, that's why you single now. But you never really hear that term used to men. And in my head, I'm like, well, shit, a lot of times, okay, I want to be single. Like, I'm single because I want to be single. Like, I'm not even trying to toot my own horn or nothing like that, but there's never been a time where I couldn't have been with someone. Like, I choose to be in these situations. I don't have to be in a situation where I'm not with anyone. But for me, I choose to pull myself out of certain situations. So it's never an insult to me when people say that, because I'm like, okay, I want to be single. I came in this world by myself. I'm gonna go by myself at the end of the day. Okay, ain't nothing wrong with being by yourself and just enjoying life, just enjoying being peaceful. And if you got kids, enjoying your kids. You don't always have to be like about a man, or if you're a man, you don't always have to be about a woman. You could just be about yourself. Like, take time to be selfish sometimes. You like, I think that's my issue at the age of 31, because I've dated a few people, and like, my relationships usually last, like, when it's serious, they last a few years. They have lasted a few years, and I was like, how old was I when my oldest daughter's father? I was like 18 when we started dating. Or no, we was serious. We weren't just dating. We was like full blown. Like, I was spending the night at his house and all that at the age of 18 years old. Like, you know what I'm saying? I've always kind of had somebody. So at this age, with the wisdom I have now, I'm going to take that time to be by myself, to really just get me right, enjoy me, love me, so I can be a better me, and then I can come out of that situation and be able to put out that energy. And if I do decide to get in a relationship, I will be a better woman, you know, because right now I know I wouldn't be any good to anybody. Just not even just, I'm just for me, like, I wouldn't be any good because of the things I've got going on personally. So as far as relationships, I'm good on that. No shade to anybody. And the thing is, like, if somebody get mad because you want to elevate and grow and become a better person, then that person don't care about you at the end of the day. At the end of the day, do what makes you happy. However, however, also consider people feelings if you're going to be involved with people. Don't lie to people. Tell them the truth. I would rather have the truth hurt my feelings than the lie hurt my feelings. You get what I'm saying? With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get on off this thing. I'm going to go make breakfast for my kids. They ain't going to be up for a minute though. But at least everything will be out the way and I can lay down. But thank you guys for listening. As I stated in the previous video, bear with me. I will be having better videos. Well, it's kind of like a little voice record right now, but you get what I'm saying. Like the videos are going to come where I'm on the video, I'm talking, but all that comes with time. So until then, please enjoy listening to Seven. Always appreciate you guys. And if you can, if you feel like it, please like, share, subscribe, comment, tell a friend to tell a friend about my channel. And you guys have a great rest of the day. Thank you.